welcome to day 2 of our practice. Today we're going to be focusing on flexibility and stretches. I have 2 blocks with me today just to help assist me, help bring the mat closer to me through certain poses. I highly recommend you grab something, whether it be like 2 books or pillows, something that you can help put your weight on. Even a chair can be good here, but I'll be demonstrating modifications with blocks. Also, if you have a strap or a sock or a towel, I'll be using a big old sweatshirt because it's the closest thing I have. I just grabbed it. Just to help us as we get into some of these poses. We'll be going through some poses that can help relieve tension in the back and the hips and the legs. Some of my favorite go-to poses. And yeah, so whenever you're ready, if you want to pause this video and go grab a couple props, or we can go ahead and get started, finding a seat, sitting up nice and tall. And we'll take a few deep breaths here to get settled in. So inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth, big open exhale. Finding 2 more just like that. Releasing all that air. All right, beautiful. And then we'll move on to all fours, find ourselves in a tabletop position and go through some rounds of cat-cow. So here our wrists are stacked under our shoulders and our knees are stacked under our hips. And on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, open the chest, draw the shoulder blades down and back for cow. And then exhale, round through the spine, pushing up and out of the shoulders and the palms for cat, feeling this distance you're creating between the shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly for cow. Gazing upwards but not straining the neck. Exhale, go the opposite way. Find cat, rounding the spine. And go through one more of these at your own pace. And then we'll meet in a neutral spine and place your left palm in the center. And then reach your right hand up towards the sky as you open the chest. And then exhale, thread the needle. So reach your right arm through underneath your hand. Find the outside of your right tricep. Place it on the mat with your shoulder, placing the right side of your head. And find that gentle twist. Using the left fingertips to support you in this twist. Maybe even pressing deeper through the palm or the fingertips to deepen. Breathing here. And when you're ready, plant that left palm, press out of the palm as you unwind and reach the right fingertips back up towards the sky. And then we'll go to the other side. So switch the hands, right hand down and center below us. Peel the left hand up. And exhale, twist it through, thread the needle. Left outer tricep and shoulder to the mat. Left side of the head to the mat. And using the fingertips to support you. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And then plant the right palm, press up and out of it. Open the left hand up to the sky. And then come back down to tabletop, all fours. And then from all fours, we're going to tuck the toes, press up, pressing the hips to the sky. So we send the hips up and back to downward dog.
Pedaling the legs, finding your length, pressing up and under the palms and the shoulders, not collapsing. Breathing deeply here, reaching the heels towards the mat. And then with control, slowly take the knees to the mat out wide for child's pose and send the hips back. Fingertips reaching forward. If this is a little intense in the hips, you can bring your knees in together and fold over the hips that way. Finding your child's pose today. And then from here, we'll walk the fingertips towards us as we sit up, and we'll find a seat. So coming onto our bottoms, taking the legs out long. Maybe we pull the fleshies out to the side as we really feel our sit bones ground into the mat. And here, sit up nice and tall. You can press your palms down into the mat, press away, finding ourselves in staff pose. Shoulders are down, reaching the crown of the head to the sky. And then from here, we'll find a fold. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, reach for the feet or the shins, maintaining that flat spine. So this is a great opportunity to use a strap or your item. Wrap it behind the feet. Inhale to create that length and sit up nice and tall. And exhale, pull your way down to fold. Feeling a stretch in the back of the legs. Inhaling to remind ourselves to lengthen. Exhale, maybe we fold a little deeper. You can bend your knees as much as you need. Careful not to lock anything here. Always have a slight bend. But if you want to take a deeper bend to really feel that relief in the lower back, bend those knees as much as you need to. And play around. Maybe find what feels good. Find how the same pose can feel different by taking different modifications. And from here, we'll gently sit up, coming out of it, and then we'll find our way into a low lunge. So we'll start with the right foot forward, getting there however that looks for you. Right foot forward, bent, and then we'll send our left leg out long behind us. Top of the foot rooted down into the mat, or you can tuck your toes for more stability, whichever way feels best for you. And then if you have your blocks, this is a great opportunity to place them under your hands just to help bring that mat closer to you and sit up, shoulders down and back, sinking the left hip to the mat. So careful we're not opening too much to the left here, really pulling this left hip down, plugging that right hip back just to ensure we're squaring the hips. Taking a couple deep breaths here. On your next exhale, let's send the hips back, finding a half splits. So you'll send the hips back, flex the toes up towards the forehead. Again, you can use your blocks here. Inhale to create length in the spine, and then exhale, fold over, reaching the forehead towards the toes. Want to keep the hips stacked over the knee. You can go back a little bit, but careful if you need to bring your heel up farther. Feel free to do so. Find what feels good. Drawing the shoulder blades down and back, keeping the spine nice and long. And then from here, we'll take our right foot to the left side of our mat. And then we'll bend that knee here. So careful here. make sure you're not doing anything that's too uncomfortable. If it helps, you can bring this foot in closer. But for pigeon, traditionally, your shin is parallel to the front edge of our mat. Left hip is down and hips are square. So we're not splaying open too much here. It can really help to grab a block or a blanket or a pillow. I prefer something with a little more cushion. So I'll just scrunch up my sweatshirt and stick it under my front hip, so my right hip. A little farther back. And this just helps ensure that the hips are square. The left hip is pulling down towards the mat, and you can stay here up on the fingertips. You can even use your blocks to come up higher, or you can fold down, bending the forearms, or even resting the head. Only going as deep as our body is wanting us to, listening to her or him, but holding here for a few more deep breaths. Really breathe into this space you're creating. If this is too intense, you can do the same thing, but just laying down. So laying on your back, right knee, right ankle over the left knee, and pull that left leg in towards the chest. So grab the back of that left thigh and pull in. Getting the same stretch here, it's just not as intense. So whichever version you like. But from there, we will meet back into an all four position, and we'll take it to the other side. So this time we're pulling the right foot forward, left leg back. No. And then we'll take it to the other side. So this time we're pulling the left foot forward and through for a low lunge, adjusting our stance to find a nice comfortable lunge where our hip, feeling a nice opening and stretch in that front right hip flexor. Option to grab your blocks or your books or your objects as you sink into this pose. Relaxing where you can. Maybe you can relax in the jaw or the eyebrows. Softening here. Letting gravity do the work. Careful your knees not going too far over your ankle here. Trying to remember that alignment. Knee stacked over the hip. Knee stacked over the foot. Take one more deep inhale. On an exhale, send the hips back. We'll find half splits on this side. So option to use your blocks. You can set them on their taller setting. Inhale to find a flat spine, long spine. Exhale, fold over, reaching the forehead towards those toes. Chest towards the thigh, forehead towards the toes. And then we'll take it to pigeon on this side. So whether you're in reclined figure 4 or you're in traditional pigeon, we'll meet you there. Using any props. So I'm going to be using my scrunched up sweatshirt under my hip to help me keep them nice and square. So I'm pressing into the top of the right foot, sitting up nice and tall, and then folding over. And I also want to mention that your body may feel different. Like this on this side is way tighter for me than the other side. And that's okay. Maybe your lunge, you can get deeper in it on one side than the other. Maybe you can't balance as well on one side or the other. It's perfectly okay. Notice it, welcome it, embrace it. We're all here to practice and get better. be better people, show more love to our bodies, and just take time for ourselves. Whatever your reason is for starting this journey. Take one more deep breath. And then we'll slowly, gently press up out of it. I like to come out splaying open on this side. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to go through a few more stretches. So first, let's do a wide-legged forward fold. Taking the legs out as wide as we'd like. We can bring them in more, out more, wherever that sweet spot is. Flexing the feet towards the sky. Nice active legs here. Engaging the quads. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. So maybe you're just here today. Maybe you can find the forearms. No judgment, showing ourselves compassion. Feeling a nice healthy stretch in the inner thighs. Shoulders are down and back. And now we'll walk the fingertips towards us and we'll find our way lying down. So slowly make your way laying on your mat. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together for reclined butterfly or reclined bound angle pose. You can place your hands on your stomach and feel the rise and fall with each breath. Maybe you place one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, and play around with breathing into these different spaces, how it makes you feel breathing into your stomach, maybe versus breathing into the chest. Letting the knees naturally splay open to the sides, feeling that nice natural stretch in the outer hips. And you can stay here for Savasana, or final resting pose, or if you'd like, you can take those legs out nice and long, leaving the hands where they are or laying them out by our sides, palms facing up, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. And just fully relaxing here, letting go of any tension. Maybe we start at the toes, releasing any tension there, relaxing the ankles, letting the feet naturally splay to the sides. Releasing any tension in the calves, easing the knees, softening through the quads and the hams, feeling the hips melt way heavy into our mat, feeling our back and our spine supported, relaxing the neck and the jaw, the eyebrows, and just being in this moment for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, feel free to stay here as long as you need to, or begin to flutter those eyes open, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Start to bring back that awareness to the body. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, point the toes, feel that full body stretch. And then release, soften, maybe roll onto one side. And slowly press your way up. All right, thank y'all so much for practicing with me today. I hope that felt nice and good, and you have some go-to poses now that if you're feeling tight in the hips, you're like, oh, maybe I can just do a low lunge or something. So I hope you took something from today's practice. Tomorrow we'll be working on building strength and stability. Let's say I didn't warn you. No, I'm just kidding. It's not too bad. But yeah, I'm excited to see y'all tomorrow and have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, bye.